Today on Spirits and Gear, we check out the new Spark guitar amp plugin from Mercuriall. Mercuriall have recently released the Spark guitar amp sim plugin. Now this sim is 4 Marshall amps in one. They're crunchy, they're clean, they're very, very British, and they're very, very accurate. I've tried a lot of these amps in real life, and Mercuriall really nailed it. Built-in features also include a dual mic cabinet section. So you can load various cabinets. There's 4 different kinds of cabinets, and each of those cabinets has 2 different variations, a non-EQ'd and an EQ'd, as well as a variety of different boosts, including a Mesa Boogie Grid Slammer, which I thought was a really, really nice touch, as well as a noise gate, chorus, reverb, and delay. But first, let's hear it in a mix. I was really going for kind of a crunchy down kind of a tone, so yeah, let's check out it soon, shall we? All right, so we are now going to do a casual playthrough of Mercuriall Spark. Now we're going to start with the base 67 model. This is the cleanest of the 4 amps. This is kind of a, it's kind of like a JTM-ish amp. Now I have the coil pulled out on the Devin Townsend Fishman pickups. They're very, very hot in voice 1, so I'm going to stick to voice 2 primarily for this amp. Sounds pretty good. Let's do the clean amp with the stomp. Now, I like that there's a modded TS-808 as well as the regular TS-808. The TS-7 Hot is also pretty cool. And what's super cool is they have Mizubuki Grid Slammer pedal, which I love. Tons and tons of attack, and we will see how this plays into some of the higher gain amps here in a second. Let's go to the lead 68. It's pretty AC/DC-like. Now when we add the Grid Slammer, now keep in mind, I haven't even touched the speaker cab model. This is just the stock, however it comes. When I first turned this on, I really didn't feel the need to change anything. I mean, we could change anything, and we'll get to that in a second. But so far, it's just been the stock 412 modern G12M greenback cab that has a little bit of post EQ to kind of clean it up a little bit. It's not the raw IR. You can get really wobbly with the chorus as well. Sounds like seasickness. Let's start playing with the speaker sim a little bit. Now on the bottom, on the mix in 1 and 2, this is basically a balance, and you can either go a little bit more of one, a little bit more of two, or balance them 50-50. I really like this feature. It's clean, it's simple, and it's super, super effective. Now, you can grab where the mic position is on the cabinet or on the speaker cone, or you can just individually adjust the X and Y axis, which is super nice. For microphones, you have an SM57, a Royer 121, and an MD 441. And right now I'm using an SM57 and the 121. We'll come back to that in a second. Let's move on to the 800. Let's switch the speaker cab to the G12M EQ. I really like where that was going. Turn on the overdrive. Now on the inputs of each amp, you can select the lower gain one. That's if you really want to goose the master volume, which works just like a real life Marshall, which is super cool. I generally keep it on input 1 though. Now for the preamps, there is the RSD and the RCA. Now this is the RSD. And there's also the power amp. You can switch between the 6L6 power tubes and the EL34 power tubes. Actually, like the EL34 is better for the 800. And then the oversampling, which adds a little bit more low-end resolution to my ears. I'll start with it off. And then of course mono and stereo, which in this case, we are in mono. So now on to the AFD, the slash model. Now these are all still stock amp settings. I'm gonna turn the tube screamer off. Now I like the little switch. You can go to number 34, which is the actual amp. Like the actual amp has this as well, I believe. And this adds a lot of upper mids. Now, if I had an Alnico 2 Les Paul, it would sound a lot like Slash's tone. But we're gonna turn that off because I'm not using anything near what he does. That got really loud. And that is the playthrough for the Mercurial Spark. Overall, I think Spark is a real winner here. These amps are very British, and if you're looking for anything even remotely British, if you're looking for big rock tones, definitely check out the Spark. I found it a joy to use, and there's not a lot of noise. The one thing I would change is the value on the input and master output have no actual numbers. You don't know where you actually are. You just kind of have to visually guess, which is fine. It's absolutely not a deal breaker, but I would like some kind of a value, a numerical value to pop up. But other than that, some very small critique. I really, really enjoyed Spark, and I think you will too. All applicable links down below in the description. You've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.